My name is Richard Payne. I'm from St. Lucia in the West Indies. I'm a pianist, composer, arranger, producer, father, very fiercely passionate and proud of my Caribbean heritage. So introspection, by definition, perhaps maybe is the examination of one's own thoughts and feelings. And then within this context, this is really a musical examination of my thoughts and feelings that have been shaped by my various experiences, deeply rooted in a search for understanding of our Caribbean history, my heritage, and also sort of an examination of why jazz music and Creole music resonates so deeply with me. I find myself being very fiercely proud of this idea of the Caribbean as one space, one large space. Too often, our Caribbean region is separated by water and politics and some extent history. Introspection is really that it's a sort of reaching and harnessing this collective beauty that exists within the region to reflect the idea of a one Caribbean, beautiful one Caribbean space in a Creole jazz context, and presenting the Caribbean to the world. When all the musicians get together and so forth, there's a language that is there, an unspoken language. It's not just the language of the understanding of jazz. They're all explorers, in a sense. Get that alchemy from a common musical language. This is part of our life. We are painting a picture of the Caribbean. One of the great points about it is that every single member of this project is of Caribbean origins. We literally had to work and rehearse, 9 new tracks in 3 days and record the tracks similarly in another 3 days. This requires quite a lot of planning, months of planning, so that the musicians had a musical bed and an understanding of what was my vision. Then they could translate that vision and bring their personality to the production. Paris is the backdrop of the recording of this album for a variety of reasons. One is that I personally believe that some of the best Creole jazz musicians on the planet live and work in Paris. And these are individuals that I thought would best reflect the color of the album that I was working on. That really resonated with me, this idea of celebrating the fact that we are from one region. And sometimes when we live in the diaspora, we understand better the value of what we bring to the world. And when I think of the diaspora and I think of the individuals who are excelling, many of them I'm so blessed to have on this project. You know, Arno Dolman, for instance, is an amazing drummer, an excellent example of this pursuit of excellence. Michel will have everyone laughing hysterically, but when we press the record button, he is just amazing. He's literally a bass god to me. Greg Louis, he drove the bus and helping to produce the album, making sure that we kept everything on time. Ralph Lavital, I'm floored by how gifted this gentleman is. Fabi Medina, who I met recently as well too. Valerie Bellinger. And then of course there's Tilo Bertolo as well too. I mean, these are amazing musicians who are standing on the shoulders of Caribbean musicians before them. You know, sometimes people say if you live together with somebody for too long or for a long time, you start to look like them. And so people actually think Francis and I are brothers, but we are certainly musical brothers in terms of that. I'm so honored that he accepted my invitation to come on this adventure with me from St. Lucia. I've always referred to Mickey as the glue. He is just a connector. And in the context of introspection, Mickey was very instrumental in recommending the personalities and the people who could participate in this project. And what's also fascinating about that as well too is how seamlessly Claude Tati and Mickey Telef from Martinique worked together. They were one, they became one. You know, Claude took us to Haiti. We explored the Caribbean in 3 days. And we had a blast. We had a blast.
Again, remember the name of the song is Citadel. So Citadel, as you know, the Citadel, the fortress in Haiti. Citadel, what? I can't remember. La Ferrière.
Citadel is very much shaped and inspired by my understanding of Haitian history and its invaluable contribution to Caribbean history. Citadel, the fort in Haiti, is somewhat a symbol of the resilience of the Caribbean amidst very difficult external circumstances. Citadel is really sort of an expression of a love and appreciation for that. That alchemy that was created in the 3 days of rehearsals was absolutely amazing, and we had to preserve that in the sort of studio environment. And much of that has to be done in a live context. This is where the magic really happens. So the recording was done in such a way to preserve the alchemy that we got in the rehearsals. This idea of us working in individual rooms where we could see each other, hear each other in real time, And that I think is a strength of the album. Ricardo as well from Cuba. Such a humble personality, but the musical colors and the palette, what he brings to this encounter, I am at loss for words.
Okay, ici, je prends le sax.
What's the consensus?
The idea of groove is very important because I think the music is usually highly rhythmic. So there is a danceable quality to the music. Because I think, you know, this is how we celebrate, this is how we live. In many respects, I think Samana is a celebration of the diaspora because it's sort of an intersection between, you know, where Haiti meets Paris or where Haiti meets New York. Or, you know, it's this wonderful celebration of the diaspora who have made their homes in various parts of the world and who bring their rich culture to the world as well. So this is the story that I'm hoping to tell in terms of Samana. For me, it's been a profoundly enriching experience to create the idea of the Caribbean community for 1 week in Paris, against the backdrop of Paris, where we are all very passionate about the Caribbean. We're very passionate about jazz. It's also about the food, it's about the jokes, it's about the camaraderie, this outward reflection of what we hold and value dear, which is music from our own Caribbean perspective.
Je suis paradis là, je peux en mettre plus là. I can put more. I can put more.
He goes on the road with us, on the road.
Thank you.
Ouvri Baryè was a traditional song that James Jamais introduced me to. James managed to keep the song rooted in its very sacred dimension. I think that it's one of my favorite songs on the project because Legba opening the door. This is what we're trying to do. We are trying to open the door. What can I say about James? James he's like a high priest because within the Introspection album and so forth, he's an elder statesman, but he is someone I have also relied on for his advice and his honesty.
pli tombe, te a glissé là, les a besoin les bas, y a machete li.
We managed to create this alchemy in 3 days and preserve it in a studio environment. And we became a family in the process. The relationships have been cemented in such a profound way that there's so much love and appreciation. We developed a bond through a musical experience that we are anxious to share with others.